I'm Cheryl Durst, the Executive Vice President and CEO of IIDA, the International Interior Design Association. We have 15,000 members practicing commercial interior design in 58 countries, and I've been thinking a lot about how this moment in our culture, in our society that we're living through definitely will fundamentally change the spaces that we live in. And when I'm saying live, I mean all the spaces that encompass where our lives happen. Home, work, retail, education, hospitality, the places where we heal, where we learn, where we gather. Museums, theaters, playgrounds, sports facilities, stadiums, movie theaters, civic centers, libraries, concert halls, outdoor festivals, all the places that perhaps we took for granted or didn't think that much about 60 days ago, but we're downright nostalgic about them now. Right now, our homes have been flexed so much that they've had to take on all the characteristics of the litany of places I just mentioned. Our homes, once known as sanctuary and oasis, and still very much that, are now multitasking as home offices, classrooms, places for healing, and places to entertain us while we shelter in place with home concerts and Zoom parties, lots of Netflix binging, gaming, cooking, meditating, memeing, and hoping and praying for the day that we can recover and re-enter what is next in all of our lives. The design of physical space is of particular importance as we contemplate a return to life post-COVID. But until there is a vaccine, at least in the short term, designers, especially commercial interior designers, will need to marshal their utmost expertise in creating and recreating the built environment. Most recently, we've all talked about collaboration as the cornerstone of the workplace, but now collaboration will need to be fostered without the proximity that we were accustomed to pre-COVID. And we all are becoming expert at virtual collaboration via every Zoom conference call, every WebEx, every group chat, and every group text that we send or participate in. The post-shelter-in-place world and designers will need to reconsider a hybrid that maximizes high-tech, feels like high touch, and is essentially no touch. And upon re-entry, we will demand hygiene, the assurances of cleanliness and ample places and opportunities for clean water, clean air, antimicrobial surfaces, lots of disinfecting wipes and hand sanitizers. Visible hygiene will be a badge of honor and a hallmark of safety. Our very psyches will require it. Our ongoing health and well-being will simply demand it. Cleanliness will need to be abundantly communicated in our surroundings. Companies, organizations, and brands will increasingly invest in advanced and elevated techniques for cleaning. Our senses will become acutely attuned to what clean looks like, no visible dust, dirt, or grime, or accumulated stuff. What clean feels like, smooth and cool to the touch. What clean sounds like, the whir of air purifiers and filters. And perhaps, most powerfully, what clean smells like, crisp, clear, antiseptic, with a hint of alcohol swab. I'm imagining hotels, retail stores, casinos, instead of having the signature scents of tea tree and ginger, instead giving us a pleasant combination of rain, hot shower, and Lysol, and we will like it. Design and design strategies can develop the tools we need to create our safer spaces. As we head into the future and the inevitable aftermath of this global crisis, public and commercial interiors will be looked at through a new lens, especially with consideration to density and large gatherings of people or people working in extremely close quarters. Free address seating will need to be rethought, and a movement back to assigned seating will be necessary, at least in the short term. Within interior design, there will be more of an emphasis on the way that people move within a space and how that enables them to interact. We will also be putting emphasis on new and different types of materials that could potentially be greener, easier to clean. Health, well-being, and wellness must be standard and at the forefront, and our interior spaces and the products contained therein will be held to and regulated at much, much higher standards. Designers have always put humans first, and in a post-pandemic world, humans and their safety and well-being are of paramount importance. The traditional design team will, out of necessity, expand to include deeper, more relevant, more meaningful relationships with facilities and operations personnel, and enhanced relationships with medical and emergency personnel. Issues related to material use, HVAC systems, air circulation, emergency evacuation, emergency preparedness are all to be considered within the realm and reach and scope of design. There is also the potential to reassess work shifts within office buildings to stagger the flow of its inhabitants at any one time. User circulation, the design of public facilities will all be greatly informed by the shared and learned experiences we are now living through. Health and safety consultants will be vital to every design team, every city, and every municipality, and they will play a critical role in every aspect of life moving forward. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the phrase new normal, and we are certainly hearing it everywhere these days. I don't know if there is a normal after a global pandemic, but there is most definitely, assuredly, and optimistically a next for all of us. A next that will simply become life as we know it. Glorious, messy, joyful, frustrating, sometimes sad, always human, filled with work, family, leisure, and adventure. And for now, and for next, and for always, design will always do what design does best: support and uplift humanity and culture. Design is indeed the business of life. Now more than ever, the world requires what design so abundantly endows: grace, civility, compassion, clarity, connection, common sense, empathy, well-being, healing, and hope. All of my best wishes to you for safety, good health, and well-being. Stay positive and stay resilient. I look forward to seeing you in our collective What's Next.